2008,
so many young men are leaving the Democrats for Republicans.
58% of young people lean Democratic. 2012, 53%. And in the last two major election years, that percentage held steady at 55%. But in 2023, that number dipped
No,
below
I haven't done the Clipper bit. I'm down to do it though.
50% for the first time since 2005. And you'll notice right here, they've started to lean more Republican. And that's partly because of one specific group, young men. Young men have increased their support of the Republican Party from 35% to 48%, a 13 percentage point increase in just 7 years. And this is a new trend. While 2020 exit polls show that young men backed Biden by 15%.
We are literally the fucking last political space online that is a holdout, that is majority men, that isn't like insanely fucked politically. It's not even a joke. Straight up. All of that fucking red pill content has created this like insane vacuum, dude. Andrew Tate, hustle culture, PUA, all this red pill shit, manosphere. It's really fucked up. Gender wars on TikTok don't help either.
Percentage points. A February 2024 Wall Street Journal poll found they favored Trump by 14 percentage points. And this loss of young male voters is a major issue for the Democratic Party going into November. The question now, can Kamala Harris bring some back? Here's what's driving young men to support Republicans and what it could mean for the presidential election to come.
America great again.
When we ask young voters, what issue is most important to you when you...
I'm not gonna lie. I also think men are getting dumber. And it's genuinely terrifying. Like, men are so fucking young men are so predisposed to like right-wing radicalization. We're getting dumber, bro. We are. Worse educational outcomes overall, like year over year. It's actually getting worse.
You go to
Hasan speaking French. Bro, when I say we, I'm a man, okay? And at a certain point, I was a young man, okay? This isn't how I, like, was born into the planet. I don't know if you know this.
to cast a vote. Among young men, it's the economy. Among young women, it's abortion.
17% of men say the economy is the most important issue, followed by democracy and immigration. Whereas for young women, the top issue is abortion, by a lot.
Why is this happening? Well, we put the reasons into two different buckets.
By a lot. Whereas for young women, important issue.
Abortion.
17% of men say the economy is the most important issue, followed by democracy and immigration. Whereas for young women, the top issue is abortion, by a lot.
Why is this happening? Well, we put the reasons into two different buckets. One is the life experiences that young men and young women are having. Those life experiences are diverging.
Young men without a college degree have seen the greatest decline in labor force participation.
Yeah, see, they're literally saying what I was talking about. Like, this is a major issue. Okay? This is a major problem.
Meanwhile, a record 87% of college-educated women are in the workforce. And today, women make up 60% of college graduates.
This division that we're seeing between young men and young women, it goes beyond who they're going to vote for Congress or president. It goes to a range of policy issues. So then let's look at what the government is offering. The Biden administration has moved to forgive federally funded student loans. That affects young women more than young men.
During the 2019-2020 school year, 49% of female undergraduate students took out loans, compared to only 42% of male undergraduates. And 66% of all student debt is carried by women.
The young women favored for giving.
Yeah. That's because they're going to school at higher rates. Like, that's it. Like, you just showed the previous graph that literally tells you why 66% women taking the fucking student loans. Because they're the ones who are actually going and pursuing higher education when men are not. This, like, the party differences have basically become firm on rural versus urban divide in terms of where people are. And the other divide is college education versus high school education. Except for white people. White people do buck, white men specifically do buck that trend a little bit.
Student loans by 45 percentage points. The young men were about equally divided. I mean, that's a big difference.
Meanwhile, young men support extending Trump's tax cuts by 23 percentage points, which cut the corporate tax rate and reduced some individual income tax.
Dude, there's nothing funnier than being under the age of 35. There's nothing funnier than being under the age of 35, being like, I worry about the economy, and then advocating for tax cuts for corporations at the top marginal tax rate. It's like, dude, you are so fucking stupid, dude. You are like, what are you? You are the biggest, most gullible moron on the planet. They are running your pockets, dumbass. They are running your fucking pockets. What are you saying? Like, you think that shit helps you, dude? You think that that touches you? The only capital you own is a busted ass Honda Civic that your older brother handed down to you. You can't even avoid the top of the hour ad breaks. You ain't got $6 in your pocket to subscribe. Use your parents' Twitch Prime. By connecting your parents' Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you'll get one free Prime subscription a month. Okay. Thank you, Daniel Art, allowing 20 young men to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Here's the 3-minute ad right now. I sent the Clipper link.
And now, because of our tax cuts, you can keep more of your hard-earned money.
You're at the Democrat.
But women oppose the proposed extension by 20 percentage points, a full 43-point difference.
That's data that goes.
Like, extending Trump's tax cuts is so funny. You get $5 in your pocket, and all of the tax cuts that were made permanent are for corporations at the top marginal tax rate, you know? These motherfuckers are like advocating for their own demise.
Like this. Young men headed in one direction and young women in the other. That's a big difference. Data does.
Oppose this policy by 15 points.
Bro, who do you think is going to get deployed? Oh my God, these people are so... This is what I mean, dog. This is what I mean. 18 to 29, net share in support is 10% for deploying troops in support of Trump's border policies. Like, build the wall, by the way, is unpopular among young men. Detain and deport is unpopular among young men. But they want to deploy troops. By the way, build the wall is so fucking unpopular that, like, again, Like, detain and deport is unpopular, build a wall is unpopular. This goes back to the point that I was making. You just have to remember that. Like, across the board, for everyone under the age of 18 and 29, both building the wall and detaining and deporting are unpopular. Much more unpopular for women, but still unpopular for men as well. Just remember that. Real cool that the Democratic Party is going on at least one of those, where with the right-wing border wall bill that they're presenting as though it's bipartisan.
And when it comes to building the wall, one of Trump's key immigration policies.
Look at Israelis, bro. There are some sick, violent young people just waiting for the state approval to do violence. Bro, come on. Israel's different. Like, America's pretty fucking fascist too, but like, Israel is mainlining fascism in like Nazi Germany style ways. Yes, you're right. A lot of the most right-wing Israelis are literally young people, but that's because the Haredi population.
He went to a sneaker convention to sell his own